So Alice and I were just having a conversation about student finance and placement year. So when you go into your placement year, student finance is a little different. Could you explain, Alice?
Yeah, of course. So normally when you're at university, student finance is means tested. So as you know, it would be based on your parents' income. It depends how much you get. When you're on placement, it's not means tested. So every person, if you're on placement, gets a set amount if you want it. And that amount is a lot lower. So it's about I can't remember how much exactly, but it's about 2,000 or 3,000 for the whole year. But bear in mind, normally most placements are paid anyway. So the fact that student finance is a lot less shouldn't be too much of an issue because you're working and you're getting paid for it.
And let me ask, do you think you should still take student finance or?
I think it depends how much you get paid on placement and whether you're living at home on placement or whether you're living elsewhere closer to your placement. So I think it depends on personal circumstances.
And do you still have to pay a year's tuition fee?
Yes, but not as much. So I'm not paying £9,250 to the university. I think it's about £850, which supposedly covers resources and you have a placement advisor for the year. But it's still quite a lot of money considering you're not technically at the university.
And lastly, if a student couldn't find a paid placement, do you suggest they try and look harder to get a paid one or take an unpaid placement?
I would say try to get a paid placement if possible, because unpaid, especially if you're working all the time, you're not going to be able to afford to live or do anything, because especially if you're working full time, you're not really going to be able to get a part-time paid job as well. It's going to be too much. And being unpaid and being on very little student finance is not feasible for a lot of people.
Okay.